Hello farmers and welcome back to American Falls. I have moved on to the month of June just because the only thing I was really doing in May was doing fertilizing contracts, but it did give me up to $280,000 in the bank account. And I was just looking at my financial situation last month. It looks like we did almost $67,000 worth of contracts. Miscellaneous, that's probably buying all the fertilizer that I did at the end of the last episode, but we're all looking good there. But with that being said, with $280,000, I think it's time to go ahead. Well, we're going to have to buy a tractor and a plow today because I accepted a contract for plowing. I didn't borrow the items, so it's time to go ahead and buy ourselves the tractor and the plow. But at $21,700, that'll be pure profit after buying the tractor and plow, of course. So also at the end of the last episode, I was looking at what I thought was the pigsty, which we were over in this general area here. Was it here? Yeah, I think it was over here. This is actually the sheep pen over here, which is kind of interesting. I saw the domes, and usually the second I see domes in a pen, I think of pigs for some reason. But this is where the sheep are, unfortunately. And the way I say unfortunately, because if I go to farmland, this land here is $164,000. Well, the pigsty is actually, after what you guys told me, and after I was checking out some things myself, the pigsty is actually, if I go back to the map in case you're kind of wondering where it is, kind of almost up in the northeast, not all the way north, not all the way in the east, but almost in that general area, by field 43 if you can find it. But that's where we're at. So the pigsty, let's see, I'm just trying to get my bearings here. And this is the pigsty right here. But not only does it come with the pigsty on this land, it also has the chicken pen, which is kind of like an open pasture kind of a deal. I think it's actually, I can't remember where it was now. Might be over here. Yes, over here next to this shed. This land does not come with any fields in it, though. So that's kind of a downer, but that's okay. But the downside of this is this land costs $250,000, which I have currently, but I got to buy myself a tractor and a plow. So I think, yeah, actually, there's a feed trough for the chickens right there. So kind of an open pasture kind of a thing. So, yeah, this could be our future home. The silo that's over here, just like on most of the farms, is a fermenting silo, not a grain silo. The only farm with a grain silo is the one right across from our mobile home, I believe. But they all have fermenting silos on here. When we buy the property, I don't know if I want to keep it or sell it. Because I could make silage right into here, I suppose. And maybe to sell silage straight up. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, this will be a little bit further on down the road. But let's get started on what we need to do today. And that is we're going to jump right in and buy ourselves a medium tractor. Nothing for sale that could benefit us today. But we're still going with the Landini because I don't think I've used a Landini in FS22 yet. So we're going to go ahead here. We're going to bump up the engine to a 225 horse. Wheel setup, I think I'm going with Michelin tires for some reason. I was checking this out earlier. Michelin tires, there we go. And of course I want we can see you can have narrow tires, but I want the wide tires with weights. And let's see, front loader, attacher, not currently because I think we can do that in the Voltra. And I'd rather do that for the future of the farm if I need to. The main color, well, I can do any color I technically want, but I think since it's the first time doing the Landini, we're going to stick with the factory colors. Metallic blue or regular blue, I think I'm going to stick with this, I don't know, it does charge me extra $2,000. I mean, not that big of a deal, but, you know, it could pan out in the future. I may need that $2,000. The metallic doesn't look too bad. But I'm going to go just with a standard blue. And the rim color, I think I'm going to keep white because if I go black on black, it doesn't look too bad. But to me, it's just too much black down here. So I like the color contrast of the white and black. And the white matches like the Landini and all the interior on it. So with that all being said, with the wide tires, the upgraded engine, we're looking at 170,700. And we are buying that tractor right now, please. And thank you. All right, so now for the plow, we all know where I'm going with here. The lizard plow, of course, we want the 9-meter wide one. And do I want to match up the Landini tractor? That'll be the one hauling it. I mean, possibly. Should I go with that and white? Just to kind of match it up and color. Why not? I mean, it's an extra $600 for the color. That's fine. and an additional 2,000 for a 3-meter wider plow. Let's go ahead and buy that. Perfect. And then we'll just tab on into it. So there is our new Landini tractor. And I did test this out. I tested out an Oceanside Forest, but it shouldn't really matter. But we should have no problem pulling this plow. Now, the only reason why I say you should have no problem, you saw we're at 225 horsepower. The plow says it needs 320. But in the beginning of FS22, and we went onto no man's land, I pulled this plow with a T6 New Holland. I think that only had 180 horsepower. So we should have more than enough horsepower to pull this, right? Should be no problem. This is going to help us out greatly on contracts. So now we can do fertilizing contracts. We can do plowing contracts without having to borrow equipment. And with the equipment that we got, this plow and the fertilizer spreader, these contracts are going to be done relatively easy. So that's going to help us out quite a bit. Oh, I just realized we are still at $90,000. So that's not bad. After this contract, we'll be back over $100,000. So I think now we will start saving up up to $250,000 to be able to buy the farmland that we were just at looking at the pigs. Decided to go with pigs, as I mentioned, I think last episode on the series. So, I mean, we've done cows, chickens, horses, and everything. Haven't really touched on the pigs too much. Now, it also got brought up to me because I was mentioning root crop harvesting, because the pigs do require 5% of the feed should be a root crop. And I can grow root crop in a greenhouse. I mean, that was mentioned. I was thinking, do I want to do that or not? I got some time to think about it, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Should we just grow the root crop in a greenhouse, or should we just do like a harvest once in a while in a small field with the smaller harvesting equipment? I mean, we can always rock out the Mark Thor root crop harvester and do a big field of sugar beet and never have to worry about doing it again, because like I said, the pigs only require 5% of the feed being root crop. Or, I mean, we could just skip the root crop altogether, not worry about the 5%, and feed them the protein, the grain, and there's 4 categories for pigs: root crop, protein, grain. Yeah, I can't remember the 4th one right now, but you all know what I'm saying. But that's ways down the road. At least I say it is. Now let's go ahead and put the plow on down. What is the working speed of this plow, just to make sure that we are doing what we can be doing? 10 miles an hour is the working speed of the plow. And bingo bango, Bob's your uncle. I don't know what that saying means, but I hear it a lot. 10 miles an hour on the plow. So just by doing this contract alone, that will repay us back on the plow that we just bought, and a little bit of extra. So that'll be nice. I am noticing the contracts are filtering through, although the contracts for the harvesting and foraging, I don't think those will reset until we actually get to those seasons, or unless I do them. But I'll be kind of interested if I go ahead and try to take the harvesting contracts. Since it's not really harvesting season, I wonder if the contract will just void itself. But, I mean, we got plenty of other contracts we can do, so I'm not too worried about them sitting there. If I'm sitting here not having no contracts available to us, if we got those 5 fields that's sitting there, then I'll try taking one of those contracts and possibly doing it. And if it voids itself and just cancels itself out, then so be it. But I'm not going to worry about it as of yet. Now, let me go ahead and put this on cruise control, because I don't need to be sitting here stepping on the pedal. But of course, I could have Frank Jr., one of those, go ahead and plowing the field. But since we really, I mean, this is our new equipment. We got to use it ourselves the first time, right? So we're going to plow the field ourselves and bring in the 21,000. So within about a month or two, like June can be harvest time. I mean, on other maps it is, like for barley. Haven't really checked the crop cycle here, but I assume it might be quite the same. With the harvest season coming up, once the once everyone has harvested their fields, they might want them plowed. So this is a very key moment for us, getting this set up so we can do more contracts. So for us to be able to do it with a nice wide plow, and cheap equipment, yeah, we should get up to that 250,000 and buy our own farmyard to begin with. Now, of course, we still won't have any fields. I haven't looked at the fields around that farmyard yet, but we'll see what the prices are. And yeah, I really don't know what to go with for the first field and what to plant, but I think we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because it all matters of what equipment that we do have. And right now, well, we got 2 tractors, we got a fertilizer spreader, and a plow. That is what's under our belt. So, I mean, it's a good start. It's a good start, although we almost have been here. We're getting close to being here a year. Of course, we start in August, and we're now in the month of June. But it's taken us a while to get here, but we are fastly approaching of actually owning a farm. Now, I'm hoping by the end of September, we should have the farm by then, depending on how many contracts come up. But as for fertilizing contracts, I'll probably do those in between episodes. All the ones I did between last episode and this episode, they're all like small fields. But I was still getting paid 4, 6, 7, one I think was 8,000. So I mean, they add up quickly, and we all know the fertilizing contracts that as we've seen with that spreader and setup, we get done rather quickly. Now, is this one of those funky fields, or oh, this feels bigger than I thought it was. Okay, I saw this section here, but it does curve around here. Oh yeah, I think I did a fertilizing contract in this field not long ago. But overall, shouldn't take us too long. There is rain in the forecast. I'm actually surprised they're showing me how far out it is, because I did check the forecast. The rain should be here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, it doesn't really affect us in FS22, plowing in the rain. But I think in real life, you wouldn't want to plow in the rain once the moisture in the soil gets to a certain percentage. Now, of course, I have been using other plows in other series. We know about the John Deere plow I've been using on Oceanside Forest. I use it on Hinterland as well. That John Deere plow. It's a nice plow, but we've been using that quite a bit. So going back to the old trusty Lizard 9-meter wide plow. We all have those mods that we are faithful to. We know they work. We know they're great. And this is a good starter plow for a farm. 10% done, you say? I don't trust that contract percentage up there in the upper right-hand corner on this map. When I was doing fertilizing contracts, I felt like I was almost 3/4 of the way done. And it would say, hey, you're 10% done. I'm like, I better be more than 10% done, or I'm in trouble. Then like 3 seconds later, it says, no, you're like 90% done. All that matters to me is I see the green symbol and it says contract on field number, whatever it is complete. That's what we're looking for. I will say, I think the plow texture is different here on American Falls. I'm really excited to, I know this is like episode 9, I think. But I'm really excited to really get going here on Lancey Boy's map. Been so long, I've been thinking every time I see Lancey Boy bring out something, his mods are always good. I've always liked the look of the maps, but for some odd reason, I just never got around to one. And for some reason, when this one came out and I had a quick look, and it's like, all right, I've said enough to myself and maybe you guys that we be on one of his maps. And I'm like, this one will kind of fit. And with no real challenges here other than we just can't take out any kind of loan at all. I mean, we can lease, we can buy used, we can buy new, whatever. And there's no like 20,000 chickens, which is now going to be 10,000 chickens. But there's nothing like that going on. It's just get in here and farm. I have a couple of ideas. I've been seeing some mods come out, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe we'll do something like that in the future. But since we are quite a ways from getting to doing specific things, I'm going to hold off onto that, because by the time I get to the point where we can do other things, maybe some other mod will come out and it's like, oh, I'd rather do that. than what I said what we were going to do. So, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to get your ideas as well. I've been actually kind of thinking maybe getting into doing some grape production or olive production on this map. Really haven't done it since No Man's Land, probably, where I tried the olive trees. I tried that mod with a shaker and all that. Didn't really enjoy it that much. I will say I didn't really enjoy the grape production and all that. But since there have been some modded production buildings coming out, maybe it'll be actually worth it for doing the grapes or olives. I think there's a grape production where we can make wine and such. But I don't know if I want to... I just don't know if I want to get into it. I just know every time I've done the grapes or olives, I just don't see where they're that profitable. But then again, on this map here, since we're not really doing any challenges, we're just coming out here to farm and lay back, more of a laid-back series. I keep saying come on this map to have fun. I have fun on all the maps we're doing. Even cutting down, 10,000 trees, I'm having fun. But this is more kind of a laid-back kind of a series where I don't feel like I gotta cut down 500 trees in between episodes so we can see progression being made by making a field bigger. Speaking of making a field bigger, this field is going to get smaller and smaller as I go around. And no, you're not going to see me plow the whole field because it will take a while. But when I saw the contract come up for 20 grand and it was for a plowing job, it's like, well, we're heading that general direction. Let's go ahead and take that one right off, and I'll pay for that plow. So I'm going to keep on going around for a little while. I'll leave the time speed at ×1, so you can kind of get a rough idea how long it's taken me. But I'll bring it back until we're like about maybe 90% done. Somewhere around there. Hopefully it tells me when I'm 90% done. And we'll finish up this. And there are 2 fertilizing contracts. You know what? I probably should take those before they disappear. They're not really well-paying contracts, but they are, I got to bring money in somewhere, right? There is a cultivating job, but then again, I would have to borrow items. So, I mean, yeah, it looks like it does pay $4,700, but then I got to pay $1,000 in leasing fees. I'd rather go ahead and do, like we said, quick jobs like this. If there were a whole bunch of cultivating jobs, then maybe I would look at that and do like 3 or 4 and only boring on one as we do. And there's those harvesting contracts. I think those will disappear this upcoming season. Once the harvest season comes, which is... June is, I mean... I don't know. June just seems like an awfully early month to be harvesting. But in FS22, it is harvest season. Alright, I'm going to continue on here for... I don't know how long, but... I hate guessing. Let's see. It's like 20 after 8. I'll probably see you in about 20 minutes. So 20 of 9. It's going to be my guess. But when I get around somewhere about 90% done, I'll bring you on back and we'll finish up this contract. And we'll have some work done in the Landini and our plow. Well, how about 40 minutes later? We are making progress, of course. I think I just hit the 90 percentile mark on this field, and just right here is all I got left. Didn't seem like 40 minutes, but it has been. But we have been getting along rather nicely. This Landini's having no problem pulling this plow. Even up the slight incline there, it will slow down a little bit, but then it will downshift. And it'll pick right back up to 10 miles an hour. So as long as the Landini, I think, is in 100%-ish repair status, I think plowing fields is not going to be much of an issue. In the future, of course, a field this big, I'll probably have hired help doing something this size while we are doing other stuff. But since currently the only thing that we have left to do so far today is fertilize a couple of small fields, yeah, we can go ahead and plow this. And as I mentioned earlier, it's the maiden voyage of ourselves in this Landini and plow, so we got to do it ourselves. Have to do it ourselves the first time around. Make sure everything's good, running well. It'll be a nice little bit of a payday when we get the $21,000 for this job. Definitely, in my opinion, not worth it doing it with probably the plow they would have given me for the contract. I'm guessing that plow would have been like 6 or 7 meters wide. Oh, I'm complete. I am complete, it says. If the farmer's happy, I am happy. Let me raise that on up. Fold it on up. And yeah, I'll collect on that contract. Thank you very much. Where's that page? Contract page. There we go. Plowing complete. 21/7. Collect. Thank you very much. So we got 2 fertilizing jobs still here. Nothing else has come up. So let's go ahead and bring this back to our mobile home, and we'll grab the Vultra. And we'll head on out and get those 2 fertilizing jobs done in a jiffy. As we saw, they're small paying jobs, so the fields can't be that big. Probably just take me a minute or 2 in each field. Have a quick look. What kind of beacons we got in here? Looks like regular beacons. Meaning not strobe lights or anything like that. Oh, what's the inside of the Landini look like here? Not too bad. Oh, I see. That mirror up in the upper right-hand corner-ish, I think is showing me the 3-point leakage. And that's the right side, of course, and the left side, of course. Or you can just turn your head around and see what you're doing. Although you can't see where you're headed forward. Kind of important. Does have a nice top speed of 32 miles an hour. And yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised because I haven't done much in-cab work since until I got this new graphics card. How much quieter it is actually in cab than when you're out of cab. We'll park this right here, turn off the beacons, and might as well leave the plow right on it because that runs the plow, this runs the fertilizer spreader. Alright, so where are we going here? 6 and 10. So you think those fields would be somewhat close to one another, right? Okay, so here's field number 6 and field number 10. Alright, so they're not that far apart from each other. And we're only right here. So if I cut right across the original farmyard I thought I was going to build or buy, that'd be field number 10. And I can probably take one of these side roads down to field number 6. Got plenty of fertilizer to do these 2 jobs easily. We'll throw on these beacons, which are more like strobe lights. So the only benefit of this farmyard originally, or still is, it has a silo for the grain. This farmyard and the other one does have a fuel tank on it, but that'll be fuel that, those are, oops, this is the field I want right here. There are fuel tanks that we actually have to put fuel in ourselves, so not that big of a deal. Try to get our bang for our buck here on the spreadage use of this. So we're almost halfway there of being able to buy the farmyard for $250,000. Of course, that would mean we need $125,000. I didn't really see many seeding contracts come up, but then again, that could have been where they planted in the fields last fall. Actually, let me come on down the road here. And then we'll just cut right across unless there's a fence line here. Actually, let me narrow down the working width of this. We're not wasting fertilizer. And it's done. Alright, so I said if I cut across, there is a road that goes down through here. But I think the river is actually going down through there. Oh, wait, no, that's right. There's a road here, so it might be a bridge. All right, so there's the bridge, and there is the road we can take. And yes, I do see the collectibles on the map, but once again, I don't really collect the collectibles. I may show them off here and there. I think we collect one on almost every map once in a while to see how much we get for them, but yeah, I'm not too interested in collecting the collectibles. Back in the day, it was fun. Do they still show you, do you still have to like collect 10 of them? When there's 100 collectibles, you have to collect 10 of them, then it'll show you the rest of them on the map? Or have they gone away from that? I have no idea. Where is this field again? Okay. Was I supposed to... Can I get there from here? Oh, this is the one with the fence around. Yeah, so I got to turn around. Unless there's... Nope, no, there is an opening here in the fence, I do believe. Alright, we're in. I think I just fertilized this one too not a while ago. And thank you for precision farming so I can kind of see where I've been by staring at the map. I think a field this size, if I just do the headland alone, that might complete the contract. Yeah, so that plowing contract I just did, it took me probably 50 minutes to do it with that plow there. I can imagine with the other plow, it may take me like an hour and a half, possibly. So even though a contract looks like you may originally see them like, oh, $20,000, it looks nice and juicy, but then you got to realize the bang for your buck. I think I did run a mod, I think it was called like Better Contracts. It kind of showed you how long the contract would take to do with the equipment that was offered. And it kind of showed you how much you were making by the minute or something like that. So it gave you a good idea of like what contracts were good to take and what ones were not good to take. So you could pretty much look at one and be like, well, that one's only paying $10,000, that one's paying $20,000, but the one paying $10,000, I'll earn $1,000 every 5 minutes compared to the other one where I would not earn the $1,000 for every 8 minutes. And we all know I do love my fertilizing contracts. Okay, we'll narrow the working width of the spreader, just to save ourselves a little bit on it. And complete. Let me make sure I get that back up to the full working width so I won't forget next time. Alright, let's go ahead and collect on those contracts now. Alright, so there are those contracts there. What are these contracts? Do I want to try taking one? Of course, I would borrow the items on something that big. And maybe do it somewhat off camera. But I'm kind of more interested to see, is it going to disappear the second I take it? Because it's not technically, what potatoes? I don't know, when do you harvest potatoes? Is that September? August, September. Yeah, the only thing harvestable now is the wheat and barley. Field number 46. That is a pretty big field. It may not look so on the map, but for potato harvesting, that is a big field. Field 48 is the one I just plowed, so it's not that much smaller. So that would take me quite a while to get done. You know what I could do, though? Could I accept it and then cancel it right away? There's no penalty for that, is there? I'm just kind of curious if it'll reset. Okay, I'm just going to accept the contract now. I'm not actually going to do the field work itself. I want to accept it. Then I want to come in here And then I'm going to cancel it. Is there a fee for this? No, there isn't. And we'll collect. And now it disappeared. But it might come right back up. It may take a while for the game to see that field needs a contract being done in it. Field 46, does that still show a crop into it? Yeah, it still shows the crop is there, but the contract has kind of disappeared. But we'll see if it comes on back later on, just to test it on out. Although, like I said, I think the reason why those fields are kind of stuck where they're at is because I fast-forwarded to the months of... I thought there was a road going down through there, but it's not. There is a fence going through there. Yeah, I fast forward to the month of August to the month of November. Is there a fence line there as well? Oh. I wonder if that's been reported to Lancy Boy about the barbed wire fence coming on through. All right. So if I hug the right side, it's hard to see that barbed wire fence. Can I sneak through here? We can. Yeah, so I fast forwarded from August to November because that's where we were on the old save when the update version came out. So I think by skipping the months like that, the harvest never got done, and that's why they're stuck there. But I think if we go through this upcoming season, those fields will reset. But a pretty good day here on American Falls. Yes, we were up near almost 300,000, but we got ourselves a nice medium-sized tractor, the Landini. We got ourselves a plow, and of course we got some contracts done, and we're back up to 116,000 in the bank account, and we're saving for 250,000 and change, so we can buy the farmyard up where the pigs and chickens are. And I will have to put a silo down, I suppose, because once we start doing harvesting, I will need to put that grain somewhere and start storing it for our future pigs. But that might be a ways on down the line. Who knows? We'll have to see how fast the money comes in the rest of this year. But the next step, I do believe, we'll be buying the farmyard so we can start bringing up the farming equipment and putting it there, and probably putting ourselves down a lovely little tiny shack, and so I can move out of this mobile home area. That'd be kind of good. I guess I can just park my farming equipment over here and leave the driveway kind of free, because I don't know who's living in that mobile home, but they're always there. At least the car's always there. Have no idea what they're doing. Let me just double check in the store. I don't think I showed you exactly what's going on. Animal trailer would be nice, because if we get ourselves, into some pigs, they're going to be reproducing rather quickly. And if I want to sell the pigs, transportation fees would be kind of key. And a cultivator, we're really not going to need one because we will have direct drills, like always, especially with precision farming. So cultivator doesn't help us out unless we were doing a lot of contracts. But yeah, I don't think I'll get my money back if I buy it and then do some contracts and sell it. It'll depreciate in too much value. I don't think it's worth my money at the current price. But that's currently what's for sale. But again, it's not like Goldcrest Valley where I can only buy from the used section. Just at the early stages of our Let's Play, the money is kind of tight. So if I can buy it on the cheap, that would be nice. But here we are in the month of June. Let me just double check on the contracts. I don't think currently there's anything I am going to take. Weeding, harvesting. There are some foraging contracts here. A cultivating job. If I advance through the day and some other cultivating jobs come up, I may take one and do a whole bunch. And, get my money on the lease items. But we'll see what comes up. We'll find out next time here in American Falls, because that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in American Falls. But until then, have a good one.